Hello, welcome to Temple Baptist Church here in Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. We're going to try to bring a devotional this morning out of Galatians chapter 6. We're going to begin with verse 1. Our emphasis is going to be on verse 9, but I think these other verses will introduce it. Most of the time I asked you to read those, but this time I'm going to share them with you. Brethren, if a man is overtaken in any trespasses, you who are spiritual, restore such one in the spirit of gentleness, considering yourself, lest you also be tempted. Good advice, isn't it? Bear one another burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if anyone think of himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. Just listen to what God's word is saying here. But let each one examine his own works, and then he will have rejoiced in himself alone and not in others. For each one shall bear his own load. Let him who is taught the word share it in all good things with him who teaches. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that will he also reap. For he that soweth to the flesh will of the flesh reap corruption, but he who sows to the Spirit will of the Spirit reap everlasting life. And let us not grow weary while doing good. For in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. I think each one of us, we're in humanity today, we're in the flesh, because of maybe physical, emotional, or even mental fatigue brought on by focusing our attentions, what we think are on the important task. This is an important task that I must finish. And, we may get to the point where we are just ready to give up on whatever we're doing. I'm done. We're convinced we're making no progress. And I think that is when we need a reminder that the fruits of our effort may only be discovered in our persistence. Don't give up. The late pastor, teacher, and theologian Herschel Hobbs, he tells of a young man who fondly professed Christ. A lady had been this young man's Sunday school teacher when he was a boy, and with tears in her, with tears in her eyes, she had tried to influence the boy to come to salvation. He had not. Wouldn't do it. Just cold-hearted. Over the years, she had prayed for him. Sometimes she grew weary, but one night she saw the fruits of her labor and the outcome of her persistence. The opportune time come because she did not become weary in well-doing. She never gave up. She got to see this young man come to Christ years later. What would most of us say? I've witnessed that guy for years. Not going to do any good. We give up, don't we? We just need to be reminded that the fruits of our effort only be discovered in our persistence. We got to be persistent. Doing good work in the name of God for the cause of Christ is always the right thing to do, and it's always the right thing to do. But the lesson, I think, for us is to do good and keep on doing it. Just doing it once is not enough. Don't give up. We still have breath. God is not finished yet. And let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart. Don't give up. Never give up. That's our prayer for ourselves today, our prayer for you, that we continue to pray for those that we know that are lost without Jesus Christ. We continue to witness to them. We continue to tell them about the saving grace of Jesus Christ, and that's our job. That is our responsibility, and we need to be faithful in that. Come and be a part of our services here at Temple. We meet on Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock for our first service. Our Sunday school classes begin at 9, then our second service at 10, and then that night, Sunday night, we meet at 6, and Wednesday night it would meet at 7, and we would be honored to have you come and visit any and all those services. May God bless you is our prayer.